Today looks a little different, and although I'm about to fly somewhere very exciting, first I have some pretty important things I need to sort out. Today I'm packing up my uniform and heading to the Emirates Training College to hand it back. I have officially completed my 1-month notice period from when I sent that nerve-wracking yet exciting resignation letter. If you didn't know, as Emirates cabin crew, you do have to give at least 30 days notice to Emirates if you do want to resign, which is actually like a lot of jobs. Even when I applied for Emirates, I remember them asking how much notice I needed to give my current employer, and then my start date was actually based off of that. Now, if you are wondering, you can actually resign from Emirates at any time and with immediate effect if you want, but as it is in the contract to give at least a month's notice, by not completing that, you might have to pay back a month's base salary and even some other amounts depending on how long you've been with the company and what allowances you get. Honestly, I wasn't under any time crunch, and there is quite a lot to do before your last day, so I'm very happy we didn't rush this. Plus, Zach and I had actually figured out when the perfect time was going to be, because this isn't just about me, but about both of us, and we just feel so ready. Ready for us to finally be the priority, ready to be together full time, and ready to travel the world on our own schedules. And let's not forget about being so ready to get good night's sleeps.
Don't you wake me up, need you in my lungs. Take me on a trip around the moon. You add shooting stars to all my blue. I'm falling in love with every move. You give me something to lose, baby. All I need is you. Give me something miraculous.
As you can see, the uniform shop is pumping. It is always so busy here because you have all Emirates cabin crew that come here for anything and everything related to uniforms. Whether you're just beginning your Emirates journey and picking up your brand new uniform, or you need to swap out a broken piece or go up a new size, this is the place it all happens. Now, I didn't know this until right now, but you're actually allowed to keep the Emirates suitcases. It's only 100 dirham for the cabin bag and 175 for the checked suitcase, which is roughly 40 and 70 Aussie dollars. So like, why not? I think it's a pretty good deal, even though when I think about it, I'm not too sure if I'm gonna use them because I really want to get a hard case carry-on and a 4-wheeler checked suitcase. But I was under pressure, so I just caved and did it. Now, you're probably gonna laugh at me even more for the fact I just paid to keep it, but my checked suitcase's handle is kinda broken. It slips out completely if you pull it up too hard, so I wanna try and get it fixed today at HQ because they actually have their own suitcase repair shop, but it's closed, and I definitely left this way too last minute, so I guess it's just gonna have to be a keepsake now.
See, I've been thinking a million things I want to say. Now I'm looking in your eyes, but I'm wandering to your lips.
Now, don't worry, I didn't come here just for this. Emirates HQ is where you have to go to return all your IDs, licenses, and my duty-free pouch. I also have to return my discount cards, which are these special subscriptions that you get as Emirates cabin crew that give you discounts all over Dubai. I also ordered myself some new name badges because we are allowed to keep these too, and I wanted to make sure I have brand new ones to treasure forever. And that's it. I'm walking out of Emirates HQ for the last time. And sure, it's a little sad, but come on, I'm so excited. Emirates started my love for traveling the world and gave me the confidence to live overseas, but that's exactly that. It started it. So now it's my turn to make it my future, and I am so ready for what's about to happen next.
Love the taste of paradise. No, it's never been the right time. Like we're holding back the storyline. And I'm waiting at the end of the night, thinking of you. No, it's never been the right time. Like we're holding
right here is our favorite part about living in Dubai Creek Harbour. The walks around this stunning area actually make you feel like you're not living in the desert. You're surrounded by water, you have new, modern buildings, and this beautiful view of the Dubai skyline. I am so glad that we're not saying goodbye to our apartment just yet because, like I said earlier, we have planned and timed pretty much everything to make it work perfect for us. So today we've done the easier part and packed up about half of our stuff to take to Zach's place in Bali.
Margaritas with the hot spice, and love the taste of paradise. No, it's never been the right time, like we're holding back the storyline. And I'm waiting at the end of the night, thinking of you.
Now, as Emirates cabin crew, when you resign, you do actually get a repatriation flight back home, fully paid for by the company. However, as I'm not flying back to Australia, they couldn't accommodate changing it to Bali, which is fair enough. So what I did instead was just book a few discounted flights before I resigned so that we have them ready for the few trips we'll be doing between Bali and Dubai.
I see ya, free falling with your parachute pants. Look like the Vegas Strip lighting up when you dance. Got your threads dripping with the glitz and the glam. Ain't nothing gonna hold you back. Rolling red carpet everywhere that you go. Talking so smooth, carry on the road. Now you're
If any of you have flown into Bali before, maybe you're familiar with how long the bags can take to come out, and we've got quite a lot of baggage. And no, not the emotional one, but physically a lot of my stuff. So let's see how long ours take.
One eternity later.
You got it like that. Rocking high tops while you're bumping the beats. Drop that boom boom, got the sound of the streets. No, no, don't stop, let it run on repeat. Ain't nothing gonna hold you back. Wow, they've never seen it before. Rated 5 stars, make them come back.
Now, I have stayed at Zach's villa here before, and he is very much aware it's a bit tight for the two of us. And the completely outdoor kitchen is a little bit of a problem. So the plan is we are going to find ourselves a new spot in Bali that's a little bit better suited for the both of us. But there are a few logistical things we need to do first, beginning with getting me a helmet, because being in Bali means I'm going to be getting around on a scooter. That means I'm going to have to get used to no car boot or backseat space, and it's going to be me, the bike, and whatever I can carry. So that's why I got myself two really good bags from Carl Friedrich. I did a lot of research, and Carl Friedrich ticked all the boxes I was looking for. They're a London-based brand known for their premium, well-designed, minimalistic travel goods, with a focus on long-lasting quality while still looking so good. I got the Ashby tote in color cognac, and it is officially my go-to for everyday things out and about. It's spacious but structured. It fits my 16-inch laptop, water bottle, and all of my other little essentials thanks to its genuinely useful pockets. It's perfect for when I want to get out of the house, set up in a cafe, and know that everything's safe, organized, and all in one bag. Plus, I actually feel so cute carrying this around. Secondly, I got the Ayrton backpack in color dark olive. Zach swears it's going to be his new bag, but hell no, I got this for me. It's super sleek, giving me those minimalistic vibes while still having everything you need inside, because you know how much I love to be organized. It's got a pocket for my laptop, even one for my iPad or notebook as well, a smaller one that fits my phone, and then a front pocket for literally anything else you can think of. Also, the zippers actually give me faith in good quality products, and it just feels so nice to know that I haven't had to sacrifice functionality for looks or vice versa. These two bags feel so solid and premium, like they're actually made to last. So that's what I imagine everything from Carl Friedrich is like. So if you're after something that's luxurious and minimalistic, but actually functional and made to last, go check out their full range of beautifully designed pieces for yourself. The link is in my description below for you. But now that you know what I'll be using to stay organized while still looking good, let's get back and see what else I need to do to set myself up in Bali.
I get any luck if there are
Now, if you're wondering why Bali? It's because Zach truly loves this island. He has some amazing friends here and such a good community, which I am so excited to become a part of. Bali is also vegan heaven with some of the best food I've genuinely ever had. And I never thought I could be someone that has regular favorite restaurants, but with the cost of living here, it's actually normal to eat out every day. I've also discovered over the years that I am made for the heat, and Bali's weather is just hot all the time. It's something Zach and I both have in common, and maybe that's why we also love Dubai so much too. But I haven't even got into the fitness scene here, and I know this is huge. There are just so many amazing things here that make you want to be the best version of yourself. And honestly, I cannot wait to be able to go all in. However, I know the coming weeks are going to be pretty stressful because if you know how hard it is to find a rental in general, in Bali, it's just on another level.
You're something beautiful, electric chemical. You take my breath away.
Now, before villa hunting officially takes over our lives, we have actually got a bit of time before Zach's lease ends. So, seeing as I have just left a pretty demanding job, I want to take some time to reset, find a routine, and finally put my health first. We are about to spend our whole lives together, so the goal is to live as long and as healthily as possible. That's why I have a few things on the health checklist to get done, beginning with full blood counts, because Zach told me he has never even had a blood test done. And if any of you know how much I love supplements, I do get blood tests every year to check my levels so I know how much and what to take. Zach is someone who doesn't really take vitamins, but he also needs to make sure he's not missing out on anything, especially with our diets. And would you believe me, you can actually get home blood tests done here, which I don't know about you, but laying in bed at home is so much better than any clinic. Now, this next thing might shock you, but on top of the blood tests, I actually wanted us both to get skin cancer checks. What I didn't expect from this was to have 2 moles removed. The dermatologist was pretty concerned, and if I did do a biopsy first, there was a pretty high chance I was going to have them removed anyway, so both of us were just like, get them out of me. Honestly, having to deal with something like this when we also need to find a new place is a bit of a whirlwind, but I guess that's life, and hopefully by dealing with this now, it's saving us a bigger issue down the track that might not have been as easy to solve. For anyone watching, this is a friendly reminder to please get your skin checked, and you best believe I'm going to be the sunscreen queen from now on.
You know you feel like magic. You know you feel like magic.
Before we get into Zach walking us through the villas we've shortlisted and using the most amount of Aussie slang I think I've ever heard, I actually want to tell you what we're looking for here. Basically, even though Zach's current place has 2 bedrooms, it has no living space and an outdoor kitchen, which, if you didn't know, is a very common thing in Bali. And don't get me wrong, it can definitely be vibey, but for long term, cooking outdoors gets pretty dirty, dusty, and insect filled. And I'm a little worried it might make me lose my love for cooking. So if we do find the perfect place, but the living or kitchen isn't enclosed already, we'll just get it done ourselves. Now, the other thing we're looking out for is dampness, mold, or water leaks. Bali's climate is super humid and it also has a serious wet season. So if there are any signs of major water damage or mold that is just beyond something we want to deal with, I don't think it's the place for us. And that's pretty much the same way we feel about construction. Bali is getting busier and busier every day, so new builds and renos are happening everywhere. Even if they haven't started next door, if there is empty land nearby, with some exceptions of course, construction could start. And they could even use the money you give them for the rent to start building. So Zach and I will be asking a lot of questions in regards to who owns the land nearby and what are their plans. So with these major things in mind, let's see how we go.
Steps up to a rooftop. This is the spot. So first of all, start with the living. Huge glass, which we love. No AC in here. Coming in here, first bedroom, they're both exactly the same. Much more storage in the bathroom. Relatively good height for the mirror. We love to see that. Little ant nest already there. No curtains at all. So it comes as is. There's no furnishing on this whatsoever. It's got this nice little area. These are in a horrible location, but what do? Get some beds over that and you are maxing, relaxing as we come in and around. The other one's got this as well. Very strange. Looks like a bar setup, but just a little bit of storage. Could probably put like a line here, hang some stuff up if it's long enough. Get some lights around the mirror and we're golden. And then that's pretty much it. The really cool part about this place though, but also the concerning part, I'll show you. The cool part is up these stairs. Right, so you get this cool little rooftop. Get some beds up here, but me, this is lovely, but however, construction. What do? Anyway, interesting spot. This place is pretty cool. And then we dive straight into here. Now, straight away you're greeted with this somewhat a small kitcheny area, but we can definitely make it work. Little fridge here. Everything comes as is. A nice little living space out here. 2 chairs, lovely pool. It's nice. This is a really nice villa here. I'm gonna quickly just duck up here. Got a little rooftop. It's nothing crazy, nothing wow, but it's still nice nonetheless. Water access up here, which is good. Get a little bit of an idea of what's going on. Have an identical villa here. Annoying dogs already. A little bit of construction down here I can see. It's like a pallet of bricks. Something, we'll go check that out in just a sec. It's quite tight, but it's also very built in. It'd be interesting to see what's on the other side of this, but as you can see, that something has to be built. So, and we're already built out there. So there's very low risk of any major construction anytime soon. Let's dive into the rooms. We are looking at a little bit of stuff that could need some work. The smell is not too bad whatsoever. The bathrooms are somewhat small. Look, to be honest, we need glass put in here, same in the other bedroom as well. Mirror put on the wall, but either way, these aren't too bad. There's nothing crazy going on. Little window that you can't close there. Into this one here now, where we have this room. Far nicer. This would be the one we live in, purely because of the fact there's more natural light, which is good for living. There is one mirror, the one that I thought I saw. Okay, there you go. So it's a little different here. And when we're talking about lights, it's a little bit weird with these stars. I didn't notice that before. Let's turn those lights on and that light on. Might have to get some more installed. Very little bathroom storage. There's rails down here to something, so we would be able to put some kind of whatever in, but either way, it's not too bad. Little walk-in robe's nice. I'm glad it's not a separate room. Anyway, this is in Tumbuk Bayou. Okay, nice little pool, open living, which we would need to close up. Typical Tumbuk Bayou dogs. Kitchen very spacious. There's no room for a fridge inside the kitchen, so as you can see, dogs going crazy. Little storage under here. There's a little shower right here and a little bathroom just around the corner. Boom. Coming into the back now, where it's actually very well designed. Obviously, we have to close this too. These stairs are maybe the weirdest thing. They're just incredibly crooked and off-built, which is strange. But if we close downstairs, one would have to put an AC in. 2, we'd have to seal this and this. But either way, this is the interesting part. Seems like everywhere we're seeing is just a construction site. Huge room, number 1. Awkward that this is the one kind of without the view. It feels a little bit closed in. A little bit of a musky smell, just feels like it's been closed up. Not a bad bathroom, nothing's too special to write home about. A little bit of storage here. And then I'll leave that open because it is stank. Not too bad. And then this would be the office. The bathrooms are actually pretty nice, nicer than what you'd expect. And you are surrounded by rice, which we know is a good and a bad thing. You got all that going on, all the boys here, and then just the amount of available land all the way in here makes this place pretty much a write-off. Oh well, on to the next one. At a constructie, we have a little laundry space. Here we are, lovely stuff. This is bedroom number 1. Great that there's windows. Moving to the bathroom. Bathrooms are massive. You've got the bedrooms out here, it comes semi-furnished. It's in a bit of an awkward spot. Pool out here. Moving into the living/kitchen space where we definitely close it up. And moving out here, which is a nice little addition, a little pantry spot. There's a bare bathroom in here. Yeah, there's no air conditioning in the living space. No, you're not having your office in a dungeon. We have a little bit of hay going up the top. But anyway, we progress. Lovely day today. Look at that water. Little kitchen, nothing too crazy. Obviously can extend it out here quite a lot. This is our second bedroom, no windows, not like the first one. So this one would be my office, little space down there, and pretty much the same deal. And then we move into another super big bathroom. The only thing is we do already have water damage in the ceiling, and this is literally a brand new place. Okay, this is in Hannon. First up, we've got Amanda. Okay, a little outdoor shower. This is what we're working with. So out the gate, little to no natural light whatsoever. Coming into the rooms, a little bit of a weird space. You come in here, it kind of smells like durries already. There could be like a little bit of inconsistency on the wall already. Bathrooms, they do smell a little damp, which is extremely concerning. Anyway, we progress. Out here, we've got the living space, which is quite large, obviously. Close that off. And you're cooking with gas. I was talking about cooking with gas. We've got quite a lot of space here. Oven, dishwasher, you name it. Even dishwasher there would be good. And then we've got like storage in here for a banging fridge, pantry, and washing machine, or have the pantry somewhere out here. So anyway, we are moving forward. Obviously some sun lounges under a roof is always a good spot. Super dirty, which is a bit weird. Obviously we're not going to use these sheets, but always interesting. This room is probably a little cleaner. Like we've got some pretty hectic cracks already for a place that's brand new. Always concerning. Fairly cheap paint, fairly cheap wood as well. We've got this bathroom, which definitely 100% smells damp, but the bathrooms aren't that bad. Not amazing, but not that bad. Storage, obviously, no wardrobes yet.
Tile.
Not the tile. Oh, what's the tile? Oh, nice. Look at that. Look at that, buddy. Straight as, eh? There's also Syndicate Constructie di Sini. Nearly finished, and apparently, just all out here cannot be built. We're about to find out the price, because I have no idea. Didn't expect this one today. This is a decent spot. Doesn't look it, but give me a minute. All right, so this is on sort of the main road of Kerobokan. You walk in and you're instantly greeted with the bedroom here, and you've got a large kind of pool area out here. Amanda, there we go, typical, need that one. All right, so this isn't the main entry, believe it or not. The main entry is around the front, but before I go in, we have a complete maid's room here, which would be kind of the low-key perfect stew. Not much natural light, that's okay. Install some ventilation. It's not huge, it's probably a little smaller than my office right now, but that's no worries. Okay, let's jump into the main area. So got like a little greeting room right here, and then we come into the main living space. We've got stairs upstairs, obviously, and then we've got the first bedroom here with a bathroom. This place is clearly not finished. That's okay, but that's bedroom number one. Oh, little space here, okay, nearly turned into there, because we've got bedroom number two right here. This just leads out to the pool. Obviously, you can make that look beautiful outside. We've also got bathroom as well. I said bedroom number two, but to be fair, it's gonna be bedroom number three. We've then got the kitchen here, but as you can see here, it's quite sizable. Sure, it's well, not the nicest kind of tiles, but the finishing is actually a lot better than the other place we were looking at. These guys are a little bit more skilled. There's some gaps in here, but a bit of Selly's gaps, some sicker fill, and you cook them with gas. All right, upstairs. This is a bit more of a stranger place. Also, I'm going to turn this around real quick. I'm on the second stair, so you kind of need a duct to come up. Little landing spot up here, which leads to this room. Now, there's nothing else upstairs, so they literally built those stairs for this one room, which is extremely interesting. As you can see, they've got a little view out here. This is the gang out there. Happy days down there. The water wouldn't pool too much on this, I would assume, and it's very easily accessible, if so, to kind of change that. The roofing is done way better than the last place. It's not as stylish, but it's definitely got some good potential, doesn't it? There's some rough finishing here, but look, this is all things that, you know, a couple $100 and a few contractors, and all of a sudden everything's looking pretty Mickey Mouse. The only issue, of course, let's show you this again, is this. I'm standing next to it. I'm a whole head above it. So maybe Amanda needs to be up there. I don't know. But either way, it's not too bad. And then we've got a little outdoor area here, just relaxing. It's welled water, wells up, well, the tank's up there, I should say. And then I won't step on it because it's very fresh. We have an outdoor bathroom here. It's obviously just not finished yet. So this also loops around to this part of La Propriété, and all of a sudden, we're out at the pool, bloody Mandarin again. So this place has got some potential.
It's like you've been living inside my mind. The way you get me, you see.
Okay guys, with how much driving around we're doing at the moment, I have figured out that I need to wash my face a lot. I'm using my CeraVe face wash 2 times a day, plus my Sukin one at night too. But I also had to get something to fight some serious butt knee. Sorry if TMI, but genuinely, your legs and butt rub on the bike seat and it's so hot and sweaty, it's just not a good combo. I have heard that bamboo is a really good material for this sort of issue, so I got myself some super comfy and long bamboo bike shorts. Hopefully all this will save me. I also bought some face wipes to keep in my bag for when I'm out and about and the sweat is just too much. Plus for wiping out my helmet, which I'm sure is soaking up some serious sweat too.
If you got a real one, hit 'em up. Let them know what they mean to ya. If you got a real one, hit 'em up. Cause best friends bring out the best in us. If you got a real one, hit 'em up.
So say right there, apparently this land here cannot be rented, but you know, this land is rented, so this is right next door. Not sure when they're going to start building. Anyway, we're moving in. Oh, and then out the front here, we've got this land that isn't rented yet. So the old Double Trouble is in town. We come in to probably the biggest single-story villa I've seen in my life. Okay, we got a little maid's room. That's perfect. There's a water meter. Worst comes to worst, we just drill through the wall, put water in here. That's the laundry. Cool. Back out here. All right, we're coming to the smallest part, which is this room here. We've got super giant. I don't know what that is. Super giant wardrobe in there. We've got AC in all rooms. This little space, followed by this, AC up there, cool. Continue along. The pool is pretty big, it's nice. We'd get some plants up on this wall here to really enclose that in. We have a genuinely insanely large living space. It's completely unfurnished, but that's great. In here is really nice. Oh, this sucks. I really like it, but the potential for construction is literally guaranteed. So then you've got 2 options. You can either go out here or you go out here. This isn't closed in. This area is, I don't know, little skylight right here. Okay, hello. And then we're moving into this one. I really like these doors. They're like just single, really big slidey doors. And then we move into some of the biggest bedrooms I've seen. So this is another wardrobe, giant. This in here is another bathroom, huge. This isn't, from what I understand, this is just the finishing of the paint. It actually isn't any dodgy. It does, no, the whole wall's like, everywhere's like that. No, it's just the finishing. It's like polished concrete almost. It's brand new. Everything looks incredibly nice. AC in there as well. And then a third bedroom, arguably just as big as the last one, with, once again, boom, to boom, to boom. Huge. Yeah, you can see it's definitely polished. A few little scuffs on the wall, maybe just a little touch up of the paint. Another huge wardrobe. So you get 3 of these. It's so quiet in here. I love that. But like honestly, you just turn this whole room to like a walk-in wardrobe. Insane. Here's Amanda. What are you saying?
Yeah, it's a nice size. It's my favourite.
It's pretty nice. Hey, what feels like Villa 843 for the day. We come in through these doors. Whoa, you're right. Little entranceway here opens up to a very sizable kitchen. It's clearly not done right now. We've got a little toilet in there. We're looking at about a month to get this all schmicky. We're coming into the first bedroom. This is metal. We have lovely eaved roofs, which texture as well. We come into these bathrooms, which are very sizable. However, it's a bath shower and there's currently no wardrobe. So that is interesting. And these are not the largest bedrooms whatsoever. We're probably looking at the same size of what I have now, maybe just a little bit bigger. But you come out, this is a very, very nice living space. It's open right now. We've got a lovely little pool here. we've got this, what do you call it, gazebo looking thing. This is kind of the look back on the place. If we come back into the second bedroom, we've got some guys sleeping in there at the moment.
Shining like the sun. You're the coffee in
Same thing here, exactly the same space, exactly the same size. So this is us, and then you might be thinking, Zach, what's out this door? Unfortunately, we have a very interesting plot of land right now, which is a disaster, but they'll clean all this up, hopefully. The last thing I want to show, this here, Dodd G, mate. Don't know what's going on there. So we get some bamboo up here, and we probably get some plants up there as well, all the way around. We'll probably have a little walk after this, but this is very interesting.
And very interesting is an understatement, because this villa was the one we could truly see ourselves making a home in. And let's not forget it was also within our budget. Did anyone actually notice that Zach made sure not to sound too excited when we were walking through the villas? Otherwise, if they knew how keen we were, that could have definitely affected the price. With how quickly places get snatched up in Bali, we just need to go for it. We are just paying a deposit first because, as you saw, the property isn't quite finished yet. So naturally, we aren't expected to pay the full amount until it is.
All right, we are just sending it to our real estate agents, and we are done. There we go.
It's actually kinda a blessing that this place isn't finished yet, and thankfully we found it so quickly, so we still have the time, because the owner is actually happy for us to add or change anything we want before we move in, and oh boy do I have some ideas.
Swear your love is ecstasy. Get high when you're next to me. I'm in the clouds. Your touch is my remedy.
Okay, so far, every time we've come to the villa, it has not been raining. But today, things are looking a little different. Not gonna lie, I'm definitely a little nervous about this because it really does rain a lot here. And we have heard some pretty consistent horror stories with mold in Bali, so getting this sorted ASAP is our top priority. Forget about my extra ideas, we are all hands on deck. Luckily, the real estate agents and the owner himself are more than happy to make sure all of this is fixed before the move-in date, so much so they're gonna put it on our contract.
Get lost in you, you're my hideaway. Keeping me awake. Know you love the taste. I could do forever in your arms. I swear I'm losing all my senses. You fit like the sky fit into heaven. Want you every way. Need you every day. Baby, don't you hesitate.
Everything overhangs on here, but here it's flush, so I can only imagine that there's a bit of a gap that could be created from the tile to the wall. Water comes in this side possibly. A bit of an overhang, that would be ideal. Okay, so what we're seeing here, there's a bit of a gap. This could be causing the leak inside. So it would be better to have this board come over here. So it drops down and it comes all the way along, just to make sure nothing can go under the ceiling. So you can even see here, that's not ideal. Look how straight the gutter is, but just under there is not what we're after. That's definitely got to improve. So yeah, that's probably causing those little leaks on the inside wall. Obviously here's the pool, so around here is the living room. There's water, that water coming down the wall.
So, the leaking situation is a little more complicated than we first thought, and because of this, the owner has pulled off the entire roof to completely replace it. It was these old tiles that Zach and I kinda think may have been off another building, and because the owner was so quickly to replace it, I think he knew they were gonna cause more trouble than it's worth. In the end, he is helping this place last as long as possible, so it's not just beneficial for us, but for him too. Either way though, Zach and I are so grateful. Also, can I just say, our real estate agents have been incredible. They were actually the ones that really pushed to have the whole fixing the leak situation put on the contract, and now they're here nearly every day making sure the final details are done 100% right. Because even with the roof being replaced, there are still some other issues. Starting with the gutters not all lining up, or not having them at all. But Zach and I have slowly realized gutters aren't really a thing here. At least not like they are in Australia, so if we want to have it like that, we just gotta tell them exactly what we want.
This is where the storage room starts. straight up there. Clear as day.
We also need more drainage pipes because of this and just more in general, but there's also these flat surfaces that I personally would have thought needed a roof, but here we are. And because they aren't sloped, the water just kind of pools. The plan though is to build the slopes and double down on the waterproofing on these so we can make sure we have no issues. We really do want to get this right because the owner did spend a fair bit on replacing the roof, so it'd be silly to end up still having all these issues.
Also, just on the back side here, you can see all of these were done really nicely. And then all of a sudden, I mean, goodness me, what is that? And you can see that trend slowly but surely continues. It gets a little bit better, but I guess it's from the angle I'm on as well. That is a massive gap that needs to be closed. None of this even lines up. I mean, this definitely needs looking at as soon as possible.
Several long days later.
Both you, I came second.
Good news, things are looking so much drier inside and outside our new home. So now we can focus on the fun details and start on the inside. First up on the chopping block is doors. If you remember from our villa hunting, we were always going to have an enclosed living space. It was pretty much a non-negotiable for us, not only because of the cooking situation, but seeing as 2 bedrooms was just easier to find and way better budget-wise, it means I'll be having my own dedicated office space in the living area, so you best believe we're closing it up and getting a killer AC installed. I actually managed to find a pretty affordable but not too cheap guy off Facebook Marketplace who could match our new doors to the metal ones already installed. In the end, it only cost us 2,100 Aussie dollars for this whole sliding door setup, which I think is pretty good, especially since we did get 3 sliding doors in total. This way, if we do want to open up the space again, we can.
Oh, you're showing up at my door. Holding your heart there inside your hands. Baby, I could have been all yours, but you're out of.
Now, seeing as Bali is an island, I personally don't feel like there's a lot of choices when it comes to furniture stores, and even the ones that are here are pretty expensive. So it's actually really common and often a lot cheaper just to get things custom made here. So I'm starting with the wardrobes. By getting these built in and with mirrored doors, I'm hoping it will help the space not feel too tight, but still keep all of my storage dreams. Speaking of storage, I'm also getting the same guys to change that extra toilet in the kitchen to a pantry, because I really just could not see this space being for anything other than that.
No, you don't get to show up. Teary-eyed saying I'm all you.
We're also making some adjustments to the main bathroom as we have 2 identical shower baths. So it really does make sense to turn this one into a proper standing shower. And if you watched my London vlog, you'll know how I feel about shower baths. But don't worry, my bath lovers, will still have the other one. We're also getting a bigger and stronger exhaust fan put in because in bathrooms especially, you really need that good airflow. Maybe you even noticed that some of the places we looked at didn't even have exhaust fans. Just to top things off, we are also making some adjustments to the kitchen. First, by rearranging the layout of the cupboards underneath so we can make space for a dishwasher and an oven. Because with how much cooking I want to be doing, these are kind of necessities. And along with that, we've also got a new double sink. I did, however, decide to get this made from terrazzo because we got some guys to do the new shower base and I thought it'd be a good idea, but I was very wrong and it broke before we even got to use it. So now we don't have a sink at all.
It's a reflection of me. People fight for survival. I'm chasing tails, I'm surrounded. Can't stop for a second to breathe. My thoughts are flowing like water. One day soon I will find. I know
The last last thing on the must-do list before we move in is actually replacing the locks. Not just because the owner could have given out keys to any of the construction workers, but we also really want a digital lock for the front door. As we will be traveling a lot, it's kinda a hack not to have to take keys with us. I don't know if anyone else is the same, but I swear I freak out about losing them. And when you're traveling, you already have so much to try and keep track of, so it's just one less thing to worry about.
Take me back to the jungle. The city keeps me distracted, but I know where I should be. Tell my mama I'm leaving.
Now, we have slowly been packing everything up, but tonight is the final push. Now that all the major renos are done, having the deep cleaners in today was actually the last thing we needed to do before we could officially move in.
Soon I will find. I know I am close. I know
Now, the plan today is Zach will mostly be at the old villa packing up the final things and helping the moving team load up the trucks. He'll also be driving back and forth between the two villas so he can help unload at our new place too. The plan for me is I'm at our new place all day. This way I can receive everything and focus on unpacking. Also, there are still a few minor things we need to get finished, but I think we're at the point now we just need to get in here and this stuff can be done later. We are trying to start as early in the morning as possible because Bali traffic and roads are pretty crazy. There are a lot of streets that are bike only, which is why so many people drive scooters and why we're using 2 trucks today. Zach will easily be able to send one on the way, finish loading the other, and get over here before the first truck has. But even with 2, it's still gonna be a pretty big day. And I know Zach is definitely a little sad because he's also saying goodbye to his first place he lived in by himself.
Here we are. Moved out. The first place I lived in by myself. Bedroom, old office. Damn. I reckon that mark is from where my foot used to be. Here. Anyway. God damn. This place is looking empty. Got a few things to take. Back over. Some food. It's not as much as I thought. Hopefully there's nothing in the fridge. Oh, oh well, it is what it is. Alright, we'll see how we go. But anyway, this is the spot. Crazy to think. This is no more. This is probably the last, maybe second last, but probably the last time I'm gonna be here. So anyway, it's been a pleasure. Sampai jumpa, Brandon.
So you wanna know my name? I hope you got a lot of time. I'm not sure what you've been told, but no one's been a friend of mine. From the day I drove the car to the riverbed, they'd never heard what I've said. So pardon me for acting wise. I know what hides behind those eyes. Where do we go when the fight comes knocking at our door? Where do we hide?
And we are in. What a day today, and there's no other way to end it than with the rite of passage of having takeaway pizza either on the floor or kitchen bench like we are, because you have no dining table. But the craziness doesn't stop here, because tomorrow is going to be just as big.
It's not you don't care to see behind my pain. So pardon me, I have to.
I am so grateful for the new wardrobes we put in and all the kitchen storage, because I really don't know where I'd be putting all this stuff if we didn't have them. While I unpack the little details, we're also getting all our fabric furniture from Zach's old place deep cleaned. Not just because they were in the moving trucks yesterday, but I feel like moving is a perfect time to do this. Otherwise, you're usually using everything and it's kinda hard to dedicate the time to have it done.
When there's no one there to grab the gun.
Now, I do think of myself as a very prepared and organized person. So I did this with our apartment in Dubai and here as well. But basically, if we need to get any new appliances, organizers, or just anything in general for when we move in, I try to have it all ordered beforehand. Look, I know it's more stuff to move, but I feel like it makes life so much easier when you get into a new place, you're already organizing everything, and you can just put things in their dedicated spots from the get-go.
Sometimes I play it safe, and you can see it. It's easy for me to show.
Something else I love to do when moving is actually take the time to clean everything while I'm organizing. And I'm not just talking about the big things, but the little annoying things too, like my nail polish bottles or makeup. Cause when else are you pretty much touching everything you own? Has anyone else done this when they're moving as well?
I'm over and under, get lost in all the wonder, never call it quits, no. When life hit me apart, I went faster, farther. I just gotta remember I was made for this. I was made for this.
I'm finally feeling pretty organized. Everything is somewhat in its home and you can walk around without seeing any boxes. I don't know about you, but I need things put away, especially if I've got a place for it. We're definitely still missing some stuff, like all the furniture for the living and dining, but I'm kind of struggling to figure out the layout because even though the space is pretty big, I'm not sure how to make a living, dining, and my office all fit together in it. The thing that's really thrown me is this kitchen bench is weirdly tall. Zach and I really wanted to chop it off so we could put stools under it, but we realize now that it would make the craziest mess with tile dust. So now that we're in, we're just gonna have to make it work. Something we didn't realize until we were in is actually how much the new glass doors heat up the living room, especially from that morning sun. So we're getting some sheer curtains installed and fingers crossed this will help our new AC keep the room cool. Now, as much as I tried to order a lot of things before we moved in, there are still some things you have to wait until you're in to order. And the washing machine and fridge are prime examples. Spending the time to find the exact ones we wanted on top of moving and all the logistics of the renos we've been doing was a lot of the reason why I haven't had time to design the couches or dining table. I really want to make sure to get the size, shape, and color right for the space. And to be honest, it's still gonna cost a fair bit getting these done. So as crazy as this might sound, I think we're gonna hold off on getting them. Plus, Zach and I have a lot of travel plans coming up, and we've also got to go back to Dubai to finish up some exciting stuff there too. So look, all the really important things are done and the place is organized, and as long as we both have comfortable office setups for while we're here, which I found everything I wanted online and Zach already had everything from his old place, then for now, this is perfect. Of course, if I do come across little things that I like, I'll slowly decorate and add to the place, but surely we're not the only ones who haven't prioritized a dining table or couches when moving into a new place, especially when you have a lot of other things happening. Honestly, Zach and I are just so grateful to have found the perfect spot for us. Even if we can't finish it right now, we have so many exciting things coming up, so it's just about finding balance. But as always, thank you so much for watching. It means the absolute world to me, and trust me when I say I am so excited to show you where I'm flying to next.